I swear this conversation is one of the most hilarious things I've had in the game. If you pause it and read her reaction in my comments, it is literally, tell me you're in an abusive relationship without saying you're in an abusive relationship. I do love the fact I spent so long with my parents, and when one of my eyes got gouged out by a crazy bard, and the eye he puts in to replace is not exactly the most attractive colour. But anyway, back to the Shadowlands. I decided to go to the bar and talk my way through this bit rather than anything else. Being a bard, it's pretty easy to talk my way through, do some sleight of hand checks, etc. as you can see. And because I'm a bard and I can tell fables, but a bardic performance makes this pretty easy on checks. I mean, you will fail some, but that's what you've got rerolls for. And I wish I had rerolls in the tabletop version, I tell you. But yeah, once you drink this guy under the table, it's all sorted. And that was a fun, easy way of doing this rather than fighting him. And I should be doing more of that, to be honest, because I am a bard and I do have a certain set of skills and high skill points. Being a law bard, you get a lot of proficiencies, and you also get jack of all trades, even proficiencies you don't have half proficiency. So decent amount of expertise, decent amount of skills you have, and those you don't have, you have jack of all trades. Added to which, I've got a lot of items that boost up certain skill checks with the Polar Louvre and all sorts of weird and wonderful things. And I've also got all the stat items. I've taken the Gloves of Dexterity, the Crown of Intellect, etc., stuff like that. So my stats are silly. But all in all, the clearing out of the Shadowlands, I made a mistake and I actually went too close to the ambush site for the Githyanki. I was clearing out some of the bits, and I'm not going to bring you every fight from the Shadowlands, because there are just some bits of like dogs and weird stuff that you run into, and a few odd shadow here and there, and the odd harper in graveyards and things like that. There's sort of external random encounters which aren't exactly that exciting, so I'm not going to bring you every single one of them. I am going to say, oh damn, did I run into the ambush? And I didn't mean to run into the ambush, and I'm like, what do I do here? Because this ambush is particularly nasty. So I decided to get Polar Louvre on the go, move up and shriek as many as possible, and then hit one with Reverberate and Cascade for a crit. But you see their hit point bar, 165 hit points. This is one of those fights you want to take on a bit later than I am doing it. Generally, before you take on the last bit in this section, but yeah, my mistake. And luckily, I mean, my girls hit hard enough that they can cope with this fight, as you can see. But yeah, some of these characters are pretty tough, so it's not the easiest of the fights. Like the Ren Vision is worth the attempt. And old Polar Master Girl, I may as well put the Hunter's Mark on the big lass, because she's going to be the main danger, and we'll just pummel everything we can into her. Portent dice, they're kind of broken, I think. I did use them on the Wednesday night campaign, but I only actually had them the last episode, because I took the levels in Wizard later on when I played as the character on a Wednesday, and I didn't actually get the Portent dice until the last level unlock, because we finished that campaign at level 12, and they're kind of broken, especially if you roll 1s and 2s and you can use them for enemies saving throws. It really does screw enemies over. But yeah, she's pretty dang powerful and nasty. But saying that, the amount of damage my little team does these days is pretty dang nasty. I did think about using Spirit Guardians, but then I thought, no, I'll just Guardian Bolt someone, and then Bless and Blade Ward everyone, because why not? That helps. And the Githyanki in this section are generally quite tough opponents. It's not a fight I was really looking forward to taking on, and one I personally would have avoided a little bit longer had I remembered not to go this close to them. But yeah, she's annoyingly tough to hit, but obviously Carlo makes up for it with how hard she hits when she actually does hit. Also, even at this level, a Raven Blessed is such a good opportunity for blinding things, and blind gives everyone who attacks that person advantage. Them disadvantage is a huge buff debuff thing. Here Nipsy goes for shock and grasp, and it's the reverberation that actually kills this person before I even get there. So that was hilarious. And yeah, so she died to reverberation before I even got to attack her. So yeah, I was actually, that confused me a little bit, because I was like, well, what happened there? And then I'm making sure I get into shriek range for the next person, and I'm looking for that, because I should Eldritch Blast and then use the second crossbow, because no point in shooting with critical crossbows when you have Eldritch Blast. Yeah, and then Lizelle can come in, and this poor guy, he's shrieked, he's in trouble, you know, he gets knocked down and then stabbed a bit, and because of all her extra attacks he gets stabbed quite a lot. Bit of a waste of bloodlust this time, as there's not really much for me to be able to get after with where she is position wise. I try and squeeze off bow shots, but you know, it's not the best. It is what it is. I think bloodlust is an amazing potion to be able to take before combat, but it's not always going to guarantee you get to do what you want. So you know, just sometimes you just have to call it quits and just get ready for next turn. Guiding bolts, I don't particularly want to use anything too big or too flashy at this point, because the fight is pretty much done. I mean, this guy's going to run up this side and run into a very angry Lizelle, who's still got a lot of attacks to spam. This guy's going to jump up and come into the midst of everyone, which, you know, kind of, you manage to get a decent hit off and a couple of hits in. Then there's some attempts at support stuff to try and set up other attacks. So attempt to blind this guy. Yeah, it didn't work this time, but it's a really good strategy. And with Nipsy, I'm just going to go wandering over here, shock and grasp, and then try and hit with the butt for a bit of dazed, because that'll help the next attack coming in. And also, it's actually pretty decent because you get the 4 extra damage from the Polarleaf sword, so it's, you know, a bit of extra fun to damage, never hurt anyone. And that guy takes a whopping great hit from Karlach's thrown weapon. Try and throw one at this guy. Not such big damage, but still, a hit is a hit. You know, she can keep chucking them, and then, you know, try and get him knocked down, and then stab to death on the floor, because that's what Lizelle does best. Knock him down, stab him, and beat him up. And with all her extra, you know, damage she does, she is pretty useful. And between her and Karlach knocking everything down, you know, it helps get spells like that off, because they don't get a dexterity saving throw when they're lying on the floor. Yeah, this was a bit cheeky. I got pushed all the way off the edge, which, you know, was more annoying rather than dangerous. I mean, you know, at this point this fight's pretty much over. Karlach gets unlucky. The only thing with Karlach's character is after every fight I would just spend ages walking around and picking up all the weapons that she's throwing at people. But you know, it's I might as well go open the sigil now I'm down here. And yeah, that was just one of those things. I got pushed off a bridge, but the fight was over, and that's actually really good to be able to take them out that easily. As to those wandering encounter fights, this is the sort of ones I'm on about, where you get a few shadows, a few dogs, and a few zombified things. There's a few encounters exactly like this around. I'll bring you this one, but like, I'm not going to bring you all of them from the Shadowlands. The wandering encounters you get like this, it's no point bringing you all of them. They aren't that dangerous, not a lot happens in them. There's a few things that go invisible, things like that, but The team are well high enough level to take care of any of these random wandering encounters, as you can see. And with that potion of bloodlust, Carla just goes to town on things. The amount of attacks she gets anyway, but with being able to action a surge, and if she kills something, she gets to bloodlust again. It's she's just immense amount of damage, and and Polearm Master, she's just about getting tons of attacks. In this case, I did decide to use Spirit Guardians, but and then I decided to just get away with concentration saving throw, walk right into the midst of the enemy, and that does radiating orb on everything and just messes everything up. So yeah, all in all, pretty easy going. There's not a lot to it, but I'll leave you this wandering encounter playing out if you want to watch it and see how it goes. But there's nothing too exciting in the strategy. There's nothing too amazing. Just smack it really hard. Yeah, I gotta say, my party has really come together in terms of the amount of damage they can do and what sort of things they can now take on. Like I say, especially Lizelle and Karlach, the amount of damage they pump out is immense. But anyway, that's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one, as I think I'll be heading into the House of Hope and returning to Matey Boy and his Raven. Anyway, that's all. Thank you very much for watching.